Hello Year 2, I hope you're all okay today. Today we're going to be finding halves of shapes. So this moves on from when we've been finding halves and doubles of numbers. To really understand parts, to understand halves of shapes, we need to understand what a whole is first of all. So these are all wholes. So this circle here, all of it, all of the circle is one. So it's one whole. We look at our pizza, all of the pizza means that there is one pizza. That is one whole, so you've got all of it. And then the watermelon, we've got one watermelon. That is one whole. And then when you've done that, we can start looking at parts. So we've got one whole apple. So we can write number 1 there. It's 1. It's a whole. Okay, so it's one whole. A whole apple. And then if we chop the apple down the middle, we've got half. So it's chopped there and we have a half. So we can write the word half, or we can write it as a fraction. So we've got half. When we write it as a fraction, we write one piece out of 2 pieces. That's a half. Okay, so this is the word half as a fraction. So that's half an apple. So we have one apple and half an apple. We look at pizzas again. We've got our whole pizza. So that is one pizza. That's the whole. When we cut it down the middle, we are left with half on each side. So we've got half a pizza here. And then we've got half a pizza here. So half and a half makes a whole pizza. So one section here is half. Looking at our stars, we have a whole star. So that's number 1, a whole. And then we've coloured in part of the star. How much is coloured in? Half. So we write the fraction, 1 at the top, and then our line, and a 2. That means that 1 part out of 2 parts is coloured in. So some of our activities that we might do around halves might be to draw the other half of a shape. So I've got half a shape here and I'm going to draw the other half. Now when you're drawing the other half, it can be tricky to get it exactly right unless you measure it with a ruler. So we're just going to have a good go at doing another half. So I'm going to do a straight line and I need it to be about the same size, and then it's going to go down here and across. So we've got half and we've got half. Draw the other half of this shape. I'm going to go down here and draw another part. So we've got half and half. So if we look here, we've got half and we've got half. We've got half and another half. Now this isn't perfectly equal, but it's quite close. So remember, when we're doing fractions and when we're doing halves, it needs to be equal as much as we can. Colour in half of the shape. If ever I get a question where it asks me to colour in half of the shape and I've just got the whole shape here, I find it best to draw a line to help me. So I could draw a line, find about where half is, and I can draw my line down here to help me. And if I think maybe it's not quite right, I might move the line across. I could rub it out and root. So that one I think just means moving across. Is there another way we could do half? Could we put the line in another position? Yeah, we could go half across here. Now I'm going to have to move this line in a minute because it's not quite in the right place. When you're using a screen, sometimes it's a bit tricky. So we've got half and half. So you can colour it in that way or that way. There are other halves that we could do across, but try not to get too complicated to start with. So we need to colour in half of the shape. So I'm going to get my pens and get a bit of a thicker one, and I'm going to colour in half of the shape. Okay. I'm going to go all the way around. It's quite hard to colour in when you're using a computer screen. So if it's not perfect colouring, you will have to excuse me. Let's get a bit of a thicker line now to do it quickly. So we're going to colour in half. Of the shape. So half of the shape is coloured in. So that is, I need to go back to my black colour, don't I? And a thinner line. Half. We've got half of our shape coloured in. Let's look at the next one. Colour in half of the shape. Where do you think I should put my line to help me? Let's have a go. If I put my line here, even if I move it down a little bit, are they equal halves? They're not, are they? They're not equal, so you need to think really carefully. And sometimes folding helps when you're doing halves of shapes. So half, I would go down here. Okay? Let's have a look. Do these look like equal halves now? That one just needs to move slightly across. Half and half. Okay, now I won't spend ages colouring this one in because it's pretty boring watching me colouring in. So I'm just going to do some lines across there to show that this one is coloured in. When you colour in, do it a bit neater than that, please. Okay? But it's just boring watching me colouring in. Colour in half of the shape. Now this is a bit different. Where could I do my half? Now I could use my line to help me again, couldn't I? So I could get my line. This is half of the shape, so I need to colour in half. Let's go back. I could do my line along this way to show half. That's one way to find half of the shape. If your shape is cut into pieces, you can also count how many pieces you have and work out how many pieces make a half. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces. What's half of 4? You've been doing halving. What's half of 4? Half of 4 equals 2. So I know that I need to colour in 2 pieces. So I can colour in any 2 pieces. I can colour in this piece. And I could colour in that piece or that piece. I'll colour in this piece. Okay, so any 2 pieces coloured in is colouring in half of the shape. Because half of 4 is 2. And we've coloured in half of the pieces. Colour in half of the shape. So again, you can draw your line to help you find half the shape. If you've got the shape in front of you, you can fold it to help you find it. Or you can count the pieces. How many pieces have I got this time? Yep, you're right, we've got 8 pieces. So I've got 8 pieces. What's half of 8? So I want to find half of 8. Brilliant. Half of 8 is 4. So then I can colour in 4 pieces, and that any 4 of these pieces coloured in will take me to having half of the shape coloured. So 1, 2, 3, and then I could just randomly do one over here, 4, and that's still half a shape coloured in, even if they're in different places. Ooh, half. Let's count how many pieces we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is my whole number. I need to find half of 12. Half of 12 is 6. Brilliant. So I know we need to colour in 6 pieces. Another way that sometimes I know how to colour in the shapes is I remember that half is 1 out of every 2. So I colour 1 in and leave the other one. So I'm colouring in 1 out of 2. So I leave that one. I'm colouring in 1 out of 2. So I leave that one. I'm colouring in 1 out of 2. So I leave that one. Colouring in 1 out of 2. I leave that one. Colouring in 1 out of 2, and I'll leave that 1. Colour in 1, out of 2, and leave that 1. Let's just check that we've got 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So half of my shape is coloured in. So today I've sent you some sheets where you need to find the halves of some shapes and do some colouring of some halves. So when there's lots of pieces in the shape, make sure that you're counting how many pieces there are and finding half the pieces to colour in. Good luck, I'm sure you're going to be fabulous at this. So our celebrity shout outs for today are Jack Bolton. Hi Jack, I keep looking for your work every day and I can see you're working so hard. Well done. And hi to Molly Bolton. Hi Molly, and your work keeps coming in and I'm always so proud of everything that I see you doing. Well done. And hi to Charlie. Hello Charlie, been really pleased to see that you've been doing some writing as well as your maths. Keep up the great work, really proud of you all. Have a lovely day. Bye.